So as of 3:02 p.m. Central Time on Friday, I clocked out of my job for the very last time and became a full-time YouTuber. And to celebrate that, I decided to do a set of Q&A videos, asked you guys for your feedback over on my main channel, and you guys asked over 500 questions. And so I decided to do 3 different Q&A videos, one on my main channel talking about movies, one on my vlog channel talking about me personally and my family and stuff like that. And then here on this third channel that not too many people know about, where I talk about YouTube, I thought I'd answer some questions about YouTube. If you are new to this channel, that's what this is. It's a place where I'm going to start in the future posting more and more content, talking about my strategies on YouTube, how I grew my channel, maybe telling some stories of some other people that I know, how they grew their channels, how I went full-time, how to make money on YouTube. That's what I want to kind of tackle on this channel. And with that in mind, you guys asked me some questions about YouTube, so let's dive into those questions. Jeremy Roll says, what is the best advice about having a good upload schedule? So for a good upload schedule, you need to figure out what you can do consistently. Consistency is the key for a good schedule. So if you're at a point in time in life where you can only put out 1 video per week, then put out 1 video per week. Don't put out 1 this week and then none for 2 weeks and then 3 that next week and then take a week off and put out 2. No, put out 1 per week so people know if I come back Saturday, there's a new video. If I come back Saturday, there's a new video. If you can do more than that, then do more than that. But keep it still 2 per week, 2 per week, 2 per week, 2 per week. If you can go daily, that's probably best. But you have to figure out what you can do to just consistently put content out. For me, doing movie review type stuff and rankings and things like that, there's a couple things I try and have set in my schedule. I try and drop a ranking based off whatever a new release is on Saturdays. Right now, I'm dropping them at 9 a.m. where a few more people have woken up. So 9 a.m. Saturdays, that's when I drop that new ranking. And then I try and put one on Tuesday that's more of a retro or a TV show ranking. That one's moves around a little bit more. But so for me, I try to drop them every day. I'm not very good at having a specific time or having days of the week when things drop because I see movies at different times and things like that. So there's so many different factors that it doesn't make sense for me to say movie reviews drop Monday and then rankings drop Tuesday and then an editorial drops when. It doesn't make sense to do that. It's a lot more of when have I seen things? What have things dropped? But I try and drop a video every day if possible, or do a live stream or something like that. So figure out what you can do and stick to it consistently. That's the best thing you can do. And maybe one way to help you do that is batch shoot like 4 videos in a day so you can schedule them out in advance in the future and things like that. So that's what you want to do. Emerson Palmer says, what would be your advice to anyone who wants to be a full-time YouTuber, understanding you're just starting full-time? My advice for if you want to be a full-time YouTuber is that you have to, I'm assuming if you got some momentum, have some success on YouTube, because if you're just starting out, that you need to talk about how to learn how to grow your channel. You need to learn how to grow, like consistently make content, things like that. And so it's a different set of questions. So if you're someone that has some momentum and you're talking about what's my advice for trying to go from there to full-time, you have to up your game. You have to consistently up your game in regards to the quality, your release schedule, and that as well as monetizing. And so just keep upping your game, learning how to edit better, shoot better, image quality. You can check out my videos from a year ago. There's such a big difference in the quality of filming, my writing, as well as my editing. All of it's improved. And then for me, I spend a lot of time looking at my analytics and seeing what works and what doesn't. And if that's the work of YouTube, is digging into your analytics. If you don't do that, if you're not looking at your audience retention charts, if you're not studying which videos really work, not just that they get clicks, but that they get watch time, that people watch them through, and reverse engineering, why was this a hit video? Why do people keep watching this one? Why do people click away from this one? Studying all of that to up your game and all of your kind of content strategy then it's tough to go full time because you're not thinking on that next level that's ahead of everybody else. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, I went to go see a movie, or whatever you do. I put out a craft video, but are you digging in deep to get really good at it? Are you making a content strategy well in advance? You got to do all that. And then you got to have a diversified plan for monetizing your channel. So YouTube AdSense sometimes is fantastic. December, when all of that Christmas money is being poured into advertising, there's tons of money to be made there. During summertime, for me, movie season, there's so many people just watching my videos. There's tons of ad revenue coming in. What about August and September when people aren't doing that so much? So you have to have multiple streams of income. So I've got Patreon, brand deals, affiliate links. I'm looking to get into speaking. There's just a bunch of different things that I have going on to try and find ways to make money at different times and in different ways. So some videos that I make very little money from AdSense on, I make money from affiliate links. Other ones, the point of the video is to get people to sign up for Patreon. And so I put that video, it doesn't need to get a ton of views. It just needs to get the right views to get people to go, oh, I should sign up for this other thing. Or super chats. I do live streams a lot in Q&As because I get super chats. So it's one more stream of revenue. So that's what you need to find: diversified plan for monetizing. Keep upping your game, keep getting better at planning, and find a diversified scheme for monetizing. Remy says, hey, Sean, hope things are going well. Glad you were able to settle in on a full-time YouTube. What advice would you give to someone like myself who's trying to start a YouTube channel, especially about movie reviews or anything related? I got a video right up here. Check this video out. It's my 7 tips for what to do to start a movie review channel. I made a video because I get asked that question a whole lot. Big ideas, get started. Don't spend a lot of money at first because your first stuff's going to be your worst. You don't need expensive equipment. You need to start creating content, and that is free. So get all the crap out of you by creating it as soon as possible. Try a bunch of different things, but you can check out that video up above wherever it's at, and it will elaborate on all of that. Golden Light Pictures. Did you always want to be a full-time YouTuber, or did you just end up there? So, 3-4 years back, a friend of mine named Jason Worthen asked me, hey, what's your dream job? If you could write your job, what would you want to do? And I told him, I want to be a full-time content creator. At the time I was blogging, so that was more in a writing direction, but I've always liked to create things. And there's a lot of directions I could create things and be happy about it. But the idea is working for myself, putting my ideas out in the world. So 4 or 5 years ago is when I just kind of articulated that and realized that about myself. And then as soon as I started this channel, I was like, all right, I'm digging this. And I got some traction on a video pretty early on. I went, all right, I want this to go full time. So all the way back from when I started this, that became the end goal. And, I was delivering paint for a living and things like that. It was pretty easy to not want to do that anymore and to want to do this instead. All right, we got Andrew Morrison. Do you take specific days to record and edit, or are you not a schedule person? For me, up to this point in time, it's not, I record it and then I edit it that day. That's the way I've done most of it. Because I had a day job, I just couldn't really get ahead. And because I'm putting out daily videos, it was mostly shot that day of, edited. And some of that just helps me in the process because I know what I just did when I was filming it. So that's the way I have done it. Now that I'm full-time, I expect that I'll do a lot more batch filming. So what I'll probably end up doing with some of this stuff is like when I do random rankings, like, last month or this month, I guess it's still this month, did Expendables and Final Destination and just kind of put them out at random times. They weren't lined up with anything in particular. And so I could have just shot both of those on the same day at the beginning of the month and then scheduled them weeks in advance. I'll probably do a lot more of that. So like right now I'm watching the Leprechaun movies in hopes of doing a Leprechaun-a-thon ranking for St. Patrick's Day. I'll probably get those finished watching those this week, film it next weekend, and have it scheduled 3 weeks in advance or something like that. I'm going to do a lot more of that. So I haven't done a lot of batch filming in the past. I plan on doing a lot more of it now that I can. And so that it's much easier for me to have multiple videos coming out every day, consistently hitting different types of content so that all my different audiences are being served every single month and hopefully every single week. Blaze Sawyer, when starting out a channel, do you recommend reviewing new movies only and wait to review older movies when you have more of a following? I would recommend you find out what's best for you. My channel people don't seem to respond well to me reviewing older movies. If it's not tied to a new release or something like that, they seem to, even when they are, like my rankings or my reviews of the Mission Impossible movies, the Predator movies, even the Harry Potter movies were kind of duds. They did not perform very well. So my channel, it just doesn't seem to be what my audience wants. Even my reviews in general aren't nearly as popular as my rankings. But consistently, my retro reviews are my weakest performing videos of the month. But other channels, like my friend Cody Leach, who has kind of a horror channel, he gets great numbers when he reviews an old horror franchise. And people get excited and it builds up to a ranking and it goes great for him. So it kind of depends on what channel you're building and what your audience is. You have to find what's unique for you if you want your channel to grow. If you just copy me, if you just copy Chris Stuckman, Jeremy Johns, you're never going to cut through. But you have to find something unique for you. So if yours is an all action channel, then absolutely you should be reviewing old action movies right out of the gate from the get-go. But you have to figure out what's unique for you, what your audience is, who's your target audience. Identify who that person is and provide for them what they want. That's what you have to do. And there's no one answer to your question. In some channels, they don't review any new movies. That's not their thing. They just review old movies, and they're successful at it because that's what their audience wants, and that's who their target audience is. Okie dokie. Jack Burritt or Waltz, sorry about mispronouncing your name. What is your editing software? I use the Adobe Suite. So a lot of Premiere, a lot of Photoshop, a little bit of After Effects. That's what I use. Dark Wolverine, question number 1. Are you satisfied with the payment YouTube gives? It doesn't really work like that. It's not like YouTube gives me just a payment. It's based off of ad sharing. And so ad sharing, it's based off of who's watching a video, what video is it on. There's a whole bunch of different things. The length of the video determines how many ads run during the video, all this different stuff. And so that's just the YouTube model. Am I satisfied with it? Yeah, they don't have to pay me anything. I don't have to get any share of that. And so I'm grateful that I get anything. If you want to be successful, you need to take control of your revenue streams. So don't just trust that YouTube's going to keep handing out money to you for putting out videos. You have to have all this other stuff. So that's really what I'm working on. I want to have hit videos with new people watching them and watching the full video, not just clicking on it, but watching the full video, which leads to ad revenue. I want all of that. But if all that's working too, you can monetize a lot better by getting sponsorships, my own stuff to sell, having a Patreon page, a membership page that actually offers benefit and value to people. So that's where my focus is on when it comes to money. It's not like worrying about, oh, did YouTube give me enough? Or are they cheating? They don't owe me anything. And so I'm grateful for what they give me. He had a second question. What new things will you be adding to this channel? Talking about my main channel, what new things will be added now that I'm full-time? In the immediate future, I'm not really adding anything. I'm just going to be doing more. So probably more editorials and more live streams is what I would expect, and more movie reviews because I can see everything. When I have a full-time job and I'm shooting videos, having edit videos, watching movies and talking about movies were competing with each other because I couldn't both go see a movie and make a video on the same night. And so I could only see like one movie in the theater during the week and then one during the weekend or something like that. That's limiting. Now I can go see movies, I can see movies during the day and edit at night, and I can edit it or see a movie at night. I mean, I can do all of it. And so it just makes everything a lot easier for me to do more movie reviews and watch more movies in general, to do more ranking. So that's what my focus is on right now. Doing what has worked before and finding ways to just grow the channel, get a ton of momentum going into summertime, and monetizing that as best I can. Down the road, once I've locked in that this full-time YouTube thing is working and I'm monetizing it properly, then I can kind of properly expand my reach in what I'm trying to do. And I've got ideas for a podcast. I have ideas for a quick moving movie review show or a movie news show. I've got a bunch of ideas like that I kind of want to add into the mix. Once I get this channel, I want to do a lot more on. I want to do more on my vlogging channel, but that's once my main channel is really on fire and it is working with this whole full-time YouTube thing. Mikey Campbell, how do you find motivation to still do YouTube? Because this is what I enjoy doing. I enjoy watching movies and I enjoy talking about movies. And so the idea of creating things, I've always naturally been motivated to create things. So whether I was writing music, doing writings, blogging, all the stuff that I've always done, I just create stuff. And now I found something that I created and people actually want it. When I made music, people weren't as interested in listening to it. When I was doing blogging, they were mildly interested. Sometimes when I had the right idea, YouTube, people actually care about my thoughts on movies. So it's pretty easy to stay motivated because I just like to create things and people seem to like what I'm creating. And now I make money doing it. Making money doing it makes it also very motivating, makes me very motivated to do it. But it's not, up to this point in time, has not been difficult to stay motivated because I've had enough success to make me go, oh, I want to keep doing this. I want to keep growing. I want to keep growing. But so a lot of it's just keep setting goals. So the goal for the last year has been go full time. I just did that. So now the goal is to make that sustainable. And so I'm mapping out if I want to, how much money do I want to make this year? Where do I want to be at the end of the year so that my wife doesn't need to work anymore? It's not that I want her to stop working, but I don't want her to have to work. So where do I need to get that to be? And so I go, okay, I need to figure out this many brand deals. I need to figure out speaking engagements. I need to get this many views. And if I want all this to happen. So I just mapped that out. And so now it's a new goal. And so every month I have a sub goals that I have. I have kind of view goals that I have for every month. I've the whole year mapped out what my goals are to just keep being motivated to hitting new goals, new heights, keeping expanding, keeping doing the best content I have. That's how I stay motivated. The Stevens kids, how far in advance do you have a plan of the videos? Going into the year, I map out the whole year. I took a week off in January and I didn't post anything for about the first 10 days. I only put out 1 or 2 videos, January 1st through 10th. And basically what I did is I did a bunch of behind the scenes stuff. I was doing some prep stuff to go full time. But one of the biggest projects I did during that week off, and off meant off from shooting and editing, I was working on YouTube the whole time, is that I looked at the whole year release calendar. Every movie that's at that point in time was scheduled, mapped out every single week, and then went, okay, what movies will I review this week and what will I rank this week? And what's a cluster of things I can rank surrounding this movie release? What's a cluster I can rank around this? And just kind of made a whole long list. And then I just kind of went, all right, who are my big audiences? I got a lot of people to like my Office videos, horror fans, DC fans, Marvel fans, sci-fi fans. Okay, every month I want to have an Office video, horror video, MCU, or Marvel, DC, like trying to hit all those different categories and mapping all of that out. And so that everybody's getting a little bit of something every single month. And so I brainstormed over 100 video ideas. And some of that I had some leftovers from last year. Some of it I went, okay, I ranked these 2 years ago. My editing has changed a lot. My content's really improved. So these 30 video rankings I did, I can redo them and with integrity. I'm not just scamming people. I can do them a lot better than I did before. All right, let's carry all of those over. So suddenly I got like 150 ranking video ideas and editorial ideas and types of things. And it's January 10th. So there's always an idea for every single week. How can I have a great video this week? A hit video, kind of a deeper video, community building video, horror fan video, always touching on all of it, thinking holistically about my channel, trying to be deep as well as wide, all of it at the same time. So I plan out the whole year in advance. And then I go into every month and I have a calendar. I normally have the next 3 months on a calendar and the dates. I fill it in with different movie ideas for it. And I, shuffle them around and I drop things and I don't do everything. But I always want to be thinking because I need to know what movies I need to watch. So I started watching the Leprechaun movies 2 weeks ago so I can rank them a month from now. I've got an idea for a ranking I'm going to do in May that's over 50 movies. So I started watching those back in December. But I'm thinking way far in advance. And that's one of the reasons I've been successful is because I think on a level that I think I plan ahead further than a lot of other people do. At least I think I do in my space. All right, we got Heidi Lee G-Man, something like that. Hey, Sean, I've been watching you for like 6 months. Thank you so much. And I've been loving your content. Just wanted to ask, how long does it take you to edit your videos? Depends on the video. A trailer reaction, I can edit one of those in under 30 minutes. Nice and simple, 1 or 2 cuts, under 30 minutes to add my little comments that I put at the beginning part of it while the trailer's going, to throw a couple clips over it at the end of it, under 30 minutes. A movie review, a couple hours. A normal movie review of a new movie, it takes a couple hours probably to edit it, to cut all the noise away, to put little clips on top of it. And I have to download the clips and things like that to drop them in the right places. And so maybe a couple hours for a movie review. A ranking like my 10 best comic book movies, 10 worst comic book movies, my MCU ranking, those ones take, the whole process is over 12 hours, which might sound crazy to you, but like this MCU ranking of 21 movies, that might take me 20 hours to make it. which the video itself will be 15 to 20 minutes long. It'll be about 20 hours to make it because I have to write it. Because one like that, where I'm talking about that many movies that I know over 100,000 people are going to watch this video. So then I'm going to be very meticulous in how I craft everything to put jokes in there, to not repeat my language. It has to be it's potentially going to be one of my most viewed videos of the year. So I need to put my best writing into it. And I've made that video before, so I have to find new things to say. So a bunch of time writing it. With that many movies, it'll take me 2 hours to shoot it. With the way that I shoot now, with the way I want everything to be perfect, 2 hours of me sitting here in front of the camera talking about those Marvel movies. And then you've got 2 hours of footage, and I have to cut everything out of it and put it into the right place, put it all in order. And then I have to look up the clips for all these movies and find the right clips to put it at the right spot. And I try and have a switch between me talking and footage every 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds for a 20-minute video. That's a lot of cuts. That's a lot of little clips. And I'm trying to do a lot more like zoom in on my face, little jokes where it cuts to everything, where I put words on the screen. Every time I do that, it just takes time to do that. So it'll take 8-10 hours to edit it. And that's, like I said, that was not what I did a year ago. It would have been half that. I don't know how it would have been. It would have been a lot shorter a year ago. 2 years ago, it would have been way shorter than that. But because I know over 100,000 people, maybe 300,000, maybe 500,000 people will watch this video. A year ago, I put out my MCU villains ranking that 900,000 people have watched it. If I'd known 900,000 people were going to watch it, I would have spent so much more time writing it and editing it and optimizing it. Now I know that there's a high potential for I think 100,000 people. How crazy. They even say, they're like, wow, that's so many people. Now I'm making myself nervous about it. But because of that, that's why it's been so long on some of these videos. Now, that's also why you can sometimes see a big difference in when I do kind of like a Final Destination ranking where I'm thinking 10,000 people will watch it versus an MCU ranking where I think 100,000 people will watch it. I shoot those videos differently and I edit them differently because I know one of them is going to be seen by way more people. All right. Preview review. As someone who wants to commit to continuing his YouTube channel after college, do you think, as well as others, should review video games, books, TV shows, and music in addition to movies? No. No, if you want a successful YouTube channel, you need to be focused. And so what do you want? And so if you're talking about like Pokemon, and so you review Pokemon games, Pokemon movies, Pokemon cartoons, Pokemon books, that's okay because it's about Pokemon. But if your channel is just you reviewing movies and books and music and video games, it's so all over the place that the random person that comes to your channel, they're not getting more of what they want. And so even if they go, oh, I love this, they subscribe, and then you put out a music review and you put up a video game review, they go, oh, this isn't really for me, and they unsubscribe. So you have to create a channel that has a whole bunch of what a person wants. And so if you're just all over the place, you don't do that. Every YouTube expert person will tell you got to be focused, you got to be focused. And people will go, oh, what about PewDiePie? PewDiePie's all over the place. Yeah, but you're talking about a personality. You're talking about the number one personality on YouTube. And he started as a gaming channel and then grew from there into the personality. But when you're starting out, no one cares who you are. You're not PewDiePie. And so you have to figure out how to cut through. And then from there, if you're successful and you can experiment out from there and like be excellent at movie reviews, music reviews, and then you grow an audience and try some other things and see how people respond. Maybe you can expand. But if you just go all over the place, if you aim for everything, you hit nothing, is basically the old cliche, and it's true. All right, Owen Menning. Was it hard to make the decision to switch to full-time money-wise? No, not at all. A couple of reasons why. First reason why is that I was always working towards it. Second one, I spent a lot of time working towards it. It was a plan that was about 15 months of like, all right, no, I think this is happening. I'm not looking for another job. I'm trying to make YouTube work. And so I went into 2018 thinking I was going to go full-time in 2018. And 2018 went way better than I was expecting it to go. And my plan was delayed kind of because my wife got pregnant and we had a baby. So that changed things around and we had some added expenses. Obviously, my focus was somewhere else and didn't want to put my family at risk at an inopportune time. And I learned enough about YouTube like, no, Don't go full-time just because your revenue's at the right place. Go full-time when the movie industry is at the right place, which is going into summer movie season, which is when I'm doing it right now. So it all made it really easy for me to go, oh, right before Captain Marvel comes out, right before Shazam comes out, right before Dumbo comes out, right before the summer movie season, right before, that's the right time for me to switch to it. So for me, it was not a hard decision at all. We had the money saved. We were at the right place. We had all the questions answered. So then it became like, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going for it. It also helps that I don't have a job that's particular. It wasn't holding me back. I was, man, should I leave this pain delivery job? No. I've been underemployed, so it made it quite simple to make the decision. Rewind, replay. Now that you have achieved full-time status, are you going to be looking for, what are you going to be looking for in regards to collaborations and joint videos? Are you going to be reaching up the ladder or reaching out to smaller channels? What is the criteria you select by? So I haven't gone up at all. I don't know any bigger YouTubers. So I have some ideas to try and get some bigger people, to contact them. I have a few ideas. That's actually Monday and Tuesday. I've got a couple people I'm going to contact that would be, if like I was able to collaborate with them, it'd be awesome. It'd be awesome for me if that worked out, and a real treat for you guys, I think. But I don't know any of these people. So it's just shooting blind emails to strangers, and why would they care who I am? But the big thing really for me selecting a collaboration is it interesting? Is it something that adds something new to the mix? So when someone messages me like, hey, I want to review Iron Man 2 together, I might do it because they're a friend of mine. But if a stranger messages me and says, hey, want to review Iron Man 2 together? No. Because I've already reviewed Iron Man 2, and I've already talked about the Marvel movies. I've talked about it extensively, so it's not interesting. Like, hey, do you want to do this ranking with me? Well, I can do rankings on my own channel. So I want someone to bring something new to the table that I can say something I can't normally say in a video. Or if they want to interview me about something, that I can do things like that. But it has to be interesting. There has to be an idea proposed that makes sense to why I'm doing that with this other person. Or they have something to offer that I don't have to offer. So I reached out to someone recently, and we're going to do a video in the near future talking about Netflix movies, because I don't know a lot of Netflix movies and this person does. So that's something they can bring something to my people that I don't bring to my table. I have my friend Andy come in here to talk about comic books, or because he knows comic books better than I do. So they have to bring something to the table that I can't bring to the table. That's the big thing, or offer an opportunity to talk about something they don't normally get to talk about. But I mean, almost everyone I've ever collaborated with has been a smaller channel than mine, and I've already done like 4 interviews this year. I'm doing 3 more this week. They're all with smaller channels, but they had something to offer that was new for me to talk about, something that I don't normally talk about on my channel. So that's why they sounded appealing to me, and that's why they're happening. Last 2 questions on here. Mia the Cat, what equipment do you use for your channel, and did you ever expect to be full-time? I always thought that I had the ability. I always thought that I know how to talk about things. I can be articulate. I can be a little bit funny. So I thought that I had the talent, and I could look at some of these people that were famous, and I could go, I think I could get there. And then enough time, my first year went by, and I was like, all right, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. And then after about a year, I found my groove, and I was like, yeah, I think I've got something. And so it was November 2017 where I was like, no, I'm going to wait out on this and see if I can make this work, and stopped interviewing for other jobs because I really thought I could make it full time, and started to like my videos showed that too. It wasn't just crazy dreams on my part. What equipment do I use? I'll put a link down below to it'll be like kit.com, and it'll be a link to my equipment, everything that I use. A Blue Yeti microphone right here. In this, I actually have a box for it. This is just a Logitech 9. See, I have a little box that houses that's a new thing I added literally just today. I put it together earlier today to remove some of the reverb echo of the room, so the mic sound is a little bit clearer. But Blue Yeti microphone, about $120. Logitech 930E. It's a wide angle camera. I used to use the 920C, which was it cut off about right here. It was right at these boxes right here on the out. What am I doing? These ones on the outside, those weren't there. It was a little bit more cramped in. So my buddy Andy actually gave this one to me on a whim, and I tried it. I was like, yeah, this is better. It gives me a lot more room to move my arms around and put stuff in the background. And then I've got a light kit that's about $100, $75 webcam, $120 microphone, $100 worth of lights. I got about the $300 setup is what I have. And so you don't need a lot of money. You just need good lights and a webcam that you can adjust the settings, and you're basically good to go. Final question on here. Liam Ozerth, what is your favorite part of being a YouTuber? My favorite part and the least favorite part are the same. It's the people, just getting to know people, making friends. The people I talk to the most on a daily basis are people that are other YouTubers that we just message back and forth on Facebook. I message them more than I message people I know in real life. So that's great. And then the worst part is people too, the trolls, people that don't stop and think before they write something, people that are like, hey, let me give you some helpful feedback. And then it's like, this is more hurtful feedback than helpful feedback. There's a way to write things that's not so, like, you're not, like, going way back, like 15 years in the past, I'd posted some goofy songs on a message board once, and I wasn't trying to be like, it wasn't anything serious at all. It was a joke that I was put, like, they were goofy songs, even singing in a funny voice. And someone responded back to me like, hey, I've been inspired by watching American Idol, and I feel that it's useful to give people your honest feedback. And I think that your singing sucks. It's not very good. You need to get a vocal coach. And they gave me like this whole, like, they were serious too. They're like, you need to do this and this to be better at singing. I'm like, this is just like, I put out a joke. That's not like my serious singing voice. I didn't put it out there presenting this as I'm pursuing being a singer. I put it out there as like, hey, this is a funny joke. And you're being a jerk. This is not helpful. This is hurtful. So people just say stuff like that on YouTube to me all the time, not thinking about how it affects people. But, so many other people are just so kind and loving. It's all, but, getting to do something I enjoy doing, watching movies, talking about movies, and meeting people, that's the best thing about it. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the other two videos right over here. This one right here talks about movies. This one down here talks about personal stuff. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want more of my thoughts on YouTube, subscribe to this channel.